Hi you guys, and welcome today to a quick stretch yoga class, stretching out our lower body, our hips, our legs. This is going to be a nice quick class just to do whether you want to start your day with this class and maybe ending the day, or even after a workout that you might have done or gone for a walk today. So a nice way to just close off the day or start the day and move a little bit fluidity into our hips and stretching out any of those tight areas. So I hope that you are ready for this class. Please grab your mat, grab some water, and let's start out today in just moving through the lower body. So from a comfortable seat, we're gonna find our way to come sitting onto our knees. So finding a seated position, sitting on top of your legs stacked here. Just sitting nice and tall with the spine. If for any reason this isn't working, you can sit onto your bum as well. So sitting tall, resting the hands in the lap and just closing the eyes. Taking a breath in and a breath out the mouth. Just let the day go. Let go of anything that might be negative that's coming up. We'll inhale, reach the arms up overhead, stretching up through the fingers, reach up, big stretch through the heart, shoulders. And exhale, bring those arms parallel to the floor. We'll flip the palms up towards the sky, just closing the eyes again here. Noticing how you're feeling, setting some good energy here, drawing in the positivity in the world. On every breath, just feeling that energy in your hands. And exhale, release those hands back onto your legs. We'll gently slide the hands forward, sitting forward into a child's pose. So reach the fingertips forward, spread the hands nice and wide. Gaze comes towards the floor. Perhaps your forehead comes down. Maybe it doesn't, that's okay. So just releasing, stretching out through the heart, the chest, and the shoulders. And on your exhale, start to bring yourself up into an all fours position, just finding a quick cat-cow here. So we're just gonna wiggle our hips first, just loosening out any tension in the glutes and the low back. We're gonna start to find some circles. Just starting to release and move. Oh, feels so good. Switch directions. Just finding some fluidity into our pelvis. Awesome. Come back to neutral tabletop. As we inhale, tip the hips towards the floor, lifting the gaze. The heart shines open into our cow, and exhale, round through the spine, press towards the sky, drop the gaze, coming into our cat. Inhale forward, moving on every breath. Exhale, round back through. And exhale, find your last round, whichever way you are. And come back to our neutral tabletop. We'll step that right foot between the hands, setting up into a low lunge. Tent those fingers off the floor, walking that front hand on to the leg. And as we inhale, sweep that left arm up high towards the sky. If the arm's not working, you can always keep it on the hips as well. So stacking here, our knee over our ankles, we're protecting those knee joints. Finding an inhale to lift tall through the spine. And exhale, every exhale you sink and drop those hips a little lower to the mat. So inhale, lift, exhale, soften. Keeping the gaze forward, the neck is long. And just releasing tension through that left hip flexor. Allowing it to start to open up here. And on your exhale, let's release those hands back down, frame that front foot. We're gonna curl under the back foot and just step back into a downward facing dog. Just walk out those hips, wiggle them out for a second. Releasing the legs. Awesome. We'll release back down to a tabletop. We're gonna step that left foot between the hands, coming through the other side. Pressing ourselves up, inhale, sweep that right arm high towards the sky or onto the hip. Heart and chest open here, gazing forward, finding that inhale, lifting you from the top of the head, drawing that spine nice and tall, so finding that expansion into each vertebrae. And as you exhale, allowing those hips to start to soften towards the floor, getting a big stretch here. You can keep the back toes with the shoelace on the floor, or you can keep them curled under, whichever feels good on your knees. Breath to grow tall. And an exhale. Sinking a little further here, releasing, opening up. And exhale, release, frame the foot again. We'll curl the back toes under and step back, downward facing dog. Just walk out that dog. Find some wiggles, find some movements, bend the knees. Just let that all go. Sink those heels a little closer towards the floor. Just let that breath move, let it flow. We're going to start to step the feet up towards the top of the mat. Bend the knees as much as you need here. Bringing the feet between the hands. We're going to sit our bum back, coming back down into a seated position. Coming with your legs wide, flexing the toes towards you. We're going to tuck in that right foot. It's coming into a little bit of stretching further into our hamstrings. So turning the heart towards that extended leg. We're going to sweep the arms up, reach up, tall with the spine, and as we exhale, tip ourselves forward over that leg. So just allowing everything to come forward, starting to stretch out through the muscles of the leg. So you may feel this more into your low back, may feel it more into your hamstring down the leg. So just noticing where that tension is residing and just starting to send your breath there. Keeping our hips rooted here. Letting go of tension through the face, through the jaw. Can you sink that belly a little further towards that thigh? Exhale, start to walk yourself back up to a tall spine. We're going to twist the heart back to center. Inhale, reach up that right arm. And as we exhale, we're going to slide that hand down the leg, starting to reach towards those toes. So you can just rest that arm wherever it may fall, reaching up through that top hand. So more about getting a big side stretch here into the shoulders, keeping our heart shining open. Wonderful stretch for the side body. Oftentimes pain through the hips and the legs can actually reside into your QL muscle, which is the muscle that runs from the first rib to the hip bone. Again, if it's too much with the hand, you keep it on the hip. So just allow yourself to gently tip towards that leg. We're keeping sit bones rooted and grounded. And on your exhale, bring yourself back up. Release the arms, stretch out that foot, and we're going to tuck in the left foot towards the inside of the leg. Flexing through, turn that heart towards the extended leg. Inhale, sweep up, reach up, tall spine. Exhale, fold forward. So melt yourself over that leg. So you could reach towards the toes, you can reach towards the ankle, maybe just holding on wherever you can reach. So it's not about being a pretzel here, we're just releasing tightness, sending our breath into the tension. Exhale, let that go. letting go of tension through the face, letting go of any judgment of yourself here. Sinking that belly a little further towards that thigh. So finding those exhales to start to soften and release down. And bring yourself back up. We'll keep the heart twisted towards the center again. Slide that arm down the leg. We're going to inhale, sweep up through the left arm. Starting to tip ourselves towards that extended leg. So keeping our sit bones grounded, just noticing how different this side might feel. I'm so much more tight on this side. So if you need to release that arm, maybe it's a little too much, start to slide those fingers. If you can reach the toes, super cool. If not, doesn't matter to me. Breathing into that body, finding a nice big stretch into the QL muscle. So really feeling it down that side body all the way into your hip. It's a wonderful stretch if you sit a lot, or if you just carry a lot of back tension. Breathe in and breathing out. And on your exhale, bring ourselves back up to the center. Come back to neutral spine at the center. Release that leg out, give them a little shake. Perfect. We'll bring the legs together. So coming into a seated forward fold. So if you're having a lot of back tension, hip pain, stuff like that, either putting a prop underneath your legs, or you can even just bend and put the soles of the feet onto the mat. So I'll give you a few different options as we come down. So inhale, sweeping up, reach up with the arms. And as you exhale, tipping from the hip crease. So we're allowing ourselves to tip that belly onto those thighs. So allowing your belly to meet those thighs. If your legs are bent, if they're straight, you're thinking about connecting and gluing that belly to the thighs. So if you're extended, you're keeping your toes flexed towards your nose, allowing yourself to fall over those legs. So less about rounding through the spine, more about keeping the spine tall, finding that crease and bend. So maybe you're really tight, maybe you try the knee variation where your knees are bent, glue that belly towards the thighs, and then as you start to find your legs and start to straighten and come down. So just a different variation to allow opening through the back body, in through the hips and the hamstrings. They hold so much tension. So wherever you are, find that exhale to sink a little further, releasing the body forward. Letting everything go. One last breath in. And an exhale out. Start to bring yourself back up to tall spine. Roll those shoulders down the back. Just bend up through those legs. Hug your knees in. Reach those arms forward and give yourself a big hug here. So hug your body over those legs. Maybe the nose comes towards the knees. Give yourself a big hug here. Finding so much appreciation for yourself for coming to the mat today. Just for stretching, breathing, and moving. And we'll kick those legs behind us, finding a child's pose to close out our class. If you want to open more into the hips, we'll bring the knees wide into a wide-legged child's pose. And as we exhale, slide those hands forward and cross those forearms for a little pillow or support, and just bring your head down, forehead resting onto the forearms. And just releasing, letting the practice go, letting everything fall away. On your exhale, we'll start to gently bring ourselves back up, finding our way onto a seat again. And just bring your hands to heart center, closing out today's class. Thanking yourself for coming to the mat. and for being here with me, sharing your energy from my heart to yours. Namaste. Thank you so much, and I will see you again.